So guys, we finally did it, and thanks to the power of Red Bull I've been able to make this entire video. We've got 30 of my favorite clips throughout the entire time. Getting started with one that would, if I were to describe it properly, would demonetize the video, but this is really doing the talking for itself. And when you've got those shaking graphics on, it's just way worse, pretty much unbearable. And then next we've got Invisiblique. This one was from week number 34, and it's still Rio Mini. Unsurprisingly, this was quite early on in Forza's life, because the graphics are, the UI is still different, and there's still trucks around. So on the positive, I suppose they've made it through turn 1 this time, whereas the last one, not so much. And then it's even carried on the straight. So this one was between South and Craviator. South, of course, part of Jota now, no longer really JSR, and Craviator too, actually. That is just, that IQ is pretty high to be able to do that. And next, we've got Sweep from week number 45. This one, I don't want to say it ruined his Forza career, but I haven't seen him since. He's so far ahead in this race that he's decided to wait up for other guys, otherwise they would all DNF. But he's decided to wait a bit too long and actually be kicked for inactivity, which, I don't want to say it ruined it, but I haven't seen him again. So next up we've got Bob Peanut, and as someone described in the video this was featured in, there's a Bob Peanut in all of us. He's going to go for the celebration here to finish 5th in a truck, so this is a pretty old clip because it's a truck. And while he's not going to finish 5th, he's not going to finish 6th, 7th or 8th. And the debate is still open as to where he did actually finish, or if he did actually finish, because I think he just gave up at this point, because he ended up trying to get back on the road, but the car rolled into the sidewall, so yeah, not ideal. And next up we've got Scored Buffalo with some beautiful instant karma coming up here. This guy's a bit upset about being passed, even though this is an open track day, which I seem to see nothing but pure misery from, so I don't know why people do them. This guy's going to go for the side swipe. Buffalo's going to hold that and actually make it look like a bit of a Ken Block move. The other guy, not so much. And then next, option number 7, we have got Jota South back again, celebrating the win, but it's gone a bit too wrong. He is a racer, not a drifter, and he's not going to come first. He's not going to come second, third, fourth. He's probably going to finish 5th, and he probably should have done the J turn a bit earlier than this, just to give himself a bit more speed. But yeah, he is going to finish in 5th place, so that was a bit embarrassing. And then next we've got Tony. How could we forget this clip? This wasn't him ramming, by the way. This is from the replay. He's found this special chap who has he's got his helmet on, because he can't really do much in life without banging his head into something. So that explains the driving standards we're seeing here. He's going to go for the ram, and not to learn from the failed attempt earlier on, he's going to fail even worse at ramming and end up throwing himself into the wall. And he's not giving up. Like, we've got to give him the persistence here. Points for his persistence is very good. But that's really about it. That's good. So next he's following up with this Porsche here, and he's going to try a different tactic here, but the Porsche's also got a different counter tactic there. So again, not working out too well. And speaking of high IQ from South's first clip, this one definitely had the highest IQ, I think, because he took a route to avoid the rammers that I don't think anyone's ever thought of. Going to go around the tyre walls. Beautiful maneuver there. And next we've got Bokit. This is back when he was still in Aerox, and I'm just so proud of the lad. He's come from this to now racing in Forza RC for Jota, and doing a really good job of it too. So this is a Homestead Super Mini. We know this is happening all the time, but there's quite a high caliber of driver here. But it's not going to mean that they're all going to make it through. Only one person didn't go off the whole track there. And I feel like I need another Red Bull. We're not even halfway through this video yet. And next we've got You Who's Dad with a very similar clip. And it seems like everyone was defeated by which track they were doing. They weren't too sure. They thought it was the long right-hander rather than the left-hander rather than the short left-hander. And You Who's Dad kind of messed it up, but he was the only one who didn't go into the tyre wall really. So next we have got Cautious Gecko with a pretty poor attempt from the car up ahead. Just focus on that white car. He's going to go and try and spear the guy there on the side and not realize there's a tire wall. So we're going to have to watch that in slow-mo, in high definition, enhance that. But next we've got a Raza celebrating the win, very South-esque this clip here. He's actually going to do a fairly good job of holding this drift, at least initially. He's going to get quite sideways there, and then I thought he was going to lose it there, but he's going to lose it a bit later on. Hit the wall, spin around, and yeah, he's not going to get the win. And he's also not going to get the podium either, so he's going to finish all the way down in 4th place. And now we saw some pretty poor pit entries throughout the series, but none quite as poor as this. We've seen not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 people plowing into the tire wall at exactly the same place. And next we've got Andrew. I'm not too sure if this is Andrew who's spent $4,000 on his game attacks this year, or if this is a different Andrew. But either way, that rammer has missed every single car there. He could have closed his eyes and hit someone, but he managed to miss them with open eyes. So next, this was from week 69. So XD taking the honors of getting number 1 on week number 69, a very important one there. And the Carnage usually is at Long Beach's first corner, but this one is carried on all the way to the second corner, and he's kind of just going to stop there, like in disbelief. Like, am I actually witnessing this right now? And speaking of Carnage, of course, it's Monza, and it's like a parking lot. It's like one of those parking lots that you see for cars that just haven't been bought, except these ones are still moving. And just having it, this is just diabolical. I mean, why has no one coasted at this point? It's terrible. And I think Snooty at the end of this clip just gave up as well, just in utter disbelief. I would have done so too. I probably would have pissed myself laughing. That might have been what he did there. And then next, we of course have to have another guy failing at winning a race. So he's going to celebrate here. I don't know if he's changed his game attack either, so just keep in mind I'm using game attacks that I'm most familiar with. I don't know if guys have changed them, some of them. And he's going to go for the celebration, get it horribly wrong, end up outside the podium too. But it's not quite over because he's going to spin it on the grass there, end up just going across the line in reverse in 6th place. And then how could we forget about Merc here? He's done 45 laps, leading the race, coming against the wall. A bit of a glitch really, but I mean, he's going to give himself some terrible damage there and not win the race. He's going to finish 2nd, I believe, and very unfortunate there. Kind of hang your head in shame. Haven't heard of him since then either, so hopefully it hasn't ended his career. Next we've got Uchia J racing on Rio. This guy's going to get a bit feisty and get a bit of instant karma as well. Jay's just going to carry on along his way. And then we have another very poor pit entry. He's crashed into the wall there, and then obviously made a late decision because of that, picking up damage, to go into the pits, and gonna fail not once, not twice, not even 3 times to get into the pit lane. He's gonna fail 4 times because he's still not done. He's gonna try to get into the pits here, spinning up the wheels. He's panicking at this point with traction control on, and then eventually 5th time lucky, gonna get into the pits. And then this one, we were really waiting to see more of these. Surprisingly, not too many people are as dumb as this guy, but this is when backmarkers had been ghosted, and this guy didn't realize that. He's going to try and ram, just go straight through because he's a lap out. So next we have got Doughboy. These two guys being a little bit questionable with the track limits and getting exactly what they deserve for it, plowing into a tire wall they obviously didn't know about. And then with our first non-Forza clip that ever got number 1, I believe, we've got Gotham Race. He's going to celebrate here and not realize Project Cars crash physics just kind of stop you when you're on your roof like that. Yeah, he's not even going to finish the race at this point. There is the reset button. I don't know if you knew about that. And then coming in for option 25, we've got Black Knight. Going to take a bit of focus. We're going to lose a bit of focus and a lot of positions and a lot of pride as well. End up on his roof, getting punted around by everyone, all because of a lapse of concentration. Now he's not even in the top, well, he's basically top 10. And then we've got Yuhu's dad with the perfect bait maneuver here on a rammer. He's going to act like he's going to go into the pits. The rammer is obviously not aware of this, and he's just going to move out the way, pit himself. Thank you very much for making yourself into option number 26. And then for this one, the context is key here because he's been racing for an hour and he's coming to celebrate on the inside here. He's still got a couple laps to go. His mate was in the pit lane and pick up catastrophic damage with two laps to go. And who could forget this one from the week Super GT hosted this guy? Not too sure the tyre walls are there because he's obviously used to the Forza regulations hopper, or Forza race regulations hopper, where you can just ramp over there. So speaking of baiting guys into the pit lane from You Who's Dad's clip, we've got Looney FJ. He's going to just wait up for this guy, let him see himself into the pits, and just really carry on with his race. And then the final option is from my stream, so I should shut up now. Devon with the 5th place. Oh, got another lap. What an idiot! What a knob. I just wanted this race to be over so bad. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Anyone who's ever submitted a clip, watched a video, whatever, thank you so much. You guys have really made this series what it is. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Look forward to many more, and I'll see you in the next video.